Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Small Business File, coming to you from Richmond, California. Later in the show we'll be speaking with Jason Prescott, author of Wholesale 101, who will be sharing some tips for those of you interested in exploring the wholesale landscape. Well, as a small business person, you may not have been aware that privately held businesses like yours have been prohibited from publicly seeking investors outside of friends and family for the past 80 years. But on Wednesday, the Securities and Exchange Commission voted to overturn the ban on general solicitation, which has been in place since 1933. The ban had made it illegal to publicly offer shares of a company not listed on a stock exchange. The new rules will allow privately held companies to publicly announce through advertising and social media that they are seeking investment. But don't rev up your advertising campaign just yet. It will take some time for the new rules on general solicitation to be written, and the new law is not expected to be in place until September of this year. Once enacted, expect to see a flood of investment solicitations from companies of all sizes. The lifting of the ban on general solicitation is part of the Jobs Act, which was signed into law in April of last year. And this ruling is seen as one more step towards enabling equity crowdfunding, which the SEC has not yet approved. Until the crowdfunding portion of the Jobs Act is implemented, those who buy equity in a small business must still be accredited investors as defined by the SEC, typically high net worth individuals. The purpose of the Jobs Act is to increase access to capital for small businesses who cannot afford a public offering. Part of what makes a public offering expensive is that companies must make certain disclosures and adopt accounting practices that are aimed to protect investors from fraud. The dilemma facing the SEC is finding a way to implement private equity crowdfunding while still protecting less sophisticated investors from fraud. With sluggish job creation from big business and public sector jobs being eliminated, who will create the jobs of the future? According to Claudia Wieck, CEO of Cameo, self-employment is the labor market trend.
When somebody starts their own business, they've created a job. Self-employment is a labor market trend. It's growing at over 7% a year now. It's really picked up. So if you're concerned about job creation, you need to help people who are entrepreneurial, who are unemployed and whose jobs have gone away and who need to take their skill sets into the marketplace. Locally owned micro businesses not only are the trend, they're also good for the local economy. They hire locally, their money circulates more than 3 times as much as a chain store.
On Thursday, she was in Washington, D.C. for Cameo's 2013 congressional briefing on small business and self-employment to discuss this new trend and how to support it in the upcoming federal budget.
The budget is now being marked up, so it's a very good time to be here because there's still a chance to influence some of the allocations. So we did learn some good news today, and that is that the funding was restored where it was in 2012 for the Small Business Development Center.
Funding for other small business programs is still being negotiated. Watch this space. When it comes to customer service, U.S. consumers say small businesses do a much better job than big companies of anticipating their needs and meeting or exceeding their customer service expectations. A new poll conducted by CreditDonkey.com of 1,000 Americans over the age of 18 showed that in almost all customer satisfaction categories, consumers are more content with the efforts of small businesses than with those of big companies. 94.3% of respondents said their customer service experiences with small companies meet or exceed expectations, as opposed to 64.1% when respondents were asked about their experiences with big businesses. But better service does not trump lower prices. Just over 52% of respondents are more likely to choose a lower price over better service, a choice that tends to fall in the favor of larger businesses that can take advantage of economies of scale. So if you search for any cuisine such as Indian food or almost any service like day spa, one of the very top selections is likely to be Yelp. Now Yelp is combining its search engine dominance with e-commerce, allowing consumers to place orders directly on their website. The new offering called Yelp Platform is rolling out category by category, starting with restaurants offering food pickup and delivery. Yelp CEO Jeremy Stoppelman said, As we continue to roll this feature out, Yelp platform will eventually make it a whole lot easier to do everything from scheduling spa treatments and yoga sessions to making dentist appointments and purchasing services directly through Yelp. Yelp is currently partnering with third-party service providers such as Eat24 and Delivery.com and has announced plans to sell services through Booker, Intuit's Demand Force, and MindBody. While Yelp is not the first to offer online ordering for restaurants, its ability to place local businesses at the top of search engines, combined with over 100 million unique visitors per month, could present unprecedented opportunities for small business. The new service is currently available for iOS, mobile web, or desktop, with an Android app coming soon. A new survey released last week by the career website Glassdoor revealed the importance of different workplace benefits for employees. The survey was a joint effort between Glassdoor and Harris Interactive, which surveyed over 2,000 adults in June, and the findings are part of Glassdoor's second quarter employment confidence survey, which evaluates key indicators of employee confidence. Not surprisingly, medical coverage and holidays and sick time top the list of priorities for employees, with pension plans and dental coverage following close behind. And 1 in 5 employees saying that office perks like free food and drink, casual dress, and a pet-friendly environment are important. Other results of the study showing increased pessimism by employees fly in the face of recent news of job market confidence. One such result showed employees' fear of being laid off in the next 6 months rising to a level not seen since the second quarter of 2011. For more information on any of the stories we've covered here, go to the episode page on the Small Business File website. Next up, Reese Ludlow speaks with Jason Prescott, author of the brand new book, Wholesale 101.
Our guest is Jason Prescott. He's the author of a new book, Wholesale 101, Guide to Product Sourcing for Entrepreneurs and Small Business Owners. And he's also the CEO of Top10Wholesale.com and Manufacturer.com. So thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Looking forward to the interview and look forward to sharing some information here.
Yeah, I think the first thing I want to address, because a lot of people might not consider themselves in wholesaling or that it doesn't have something to do with them. And from looking through your book, it seems like it overlaps into a lot of areas that people might not think of. So what are some of the reasons people who might not think of themselves in wholesaling might be interested?
Well, I think the first thing that we should establish is, the main premises of this book is to inspire entrepreneurialism and give entrepreneurs in small business an opportunity at understanding some of the tactics that larger sourcing departments or wholesalers or importers or manufacturers use to make money. And this book is aimed at if you have an idea to make a product, if you need to find a product, or if you currently work in an organization and you need more strategy on how to source product and suppliers.
So for a small business owner, where would they go to start doing something like this?
Well, if you're a small business owner, there's a few things that you'd want to consider to dabble into the market. If you're just trying to monetize a website, or if you have an idea to add some product line to your website, but you don't want to take inventory, you would consider drop shipping the product. And drop shipping is when you represent on your website or in your store, in your catalog, that you have this product. You don't really own it, and all you're doing is having a relationship with a third party who does. And if they're a good drop shipper, they're going to ship that product, and whenever you get the order, they'll ship it direct to your end user or end customer with your shipping labels on them, so the integrity of your business or your relationship with your customer isn't compromised with the direct party.
So it's one step above an affiliate relationship.
Yeah, it's definitely above an affiliate relationship. Now, there are dropship programs out there that strictly, do work as an affiliate relationship, might work. But it's your choice on what kind of dropship program you want to seek. So if you have a direct relationship with the supplier, and it's kind of a unique product or something that, is not ubiquitously already out there, then it's not going to be through an affiliate program. If this is one of your, a larger supplier of, say, general merchandise, and they carry maybe 5,000 SKUs, then sure, maybe you're just going to rip off a data feed from them real quickly and place that data feed throughout your website, and it's just all going to be automated. So it really is your choice.
Are most small businesses actually importing stuff on their own, or are they going through somebody who's already imported it then and selling it in the U.S.?
That's a good question. I think it really varies. A lot of small businesses, you know, some already have a relationship with a supplier overseas, and they're importing their product. Some are buying from a distributor here in the U.S. I mean, if you're a small business and you're just getting into this, you're better off working direct with a wholesaler in the USA a lot of the time. I mean, going overseas to source your product, that is not necessarily for everybody. That is not for the masses. By the time you add up your cost in communication, your shipping costs, and everything else that you're trying to do with this probably small first-time order, you're much better off testing the water with the direct importer in the U.S.
Any red flags to look for?
Red flags would be that the first quote you receive is either significantly higher or significantly lower than maybe the median average of what you received. Okay, if it looks too good to be true, it probably is. And if somebody quotes you out of the marketplace, they're not worth working with anymore because you're dealing with a dishonest person. Credibility is everything in global trade. Some other things to look out for with the supplier. If you see a lot of complaints in the Better Business Bureau, if you go to ripoffreport.com and you see complaints about the supplier, if you can't verify the business with the state that they're registered in, it's always, I mean, whether you're working overseas and you're placing a large order with an exporter, or you're working domestically, it's always best to do your due diligence on the business before getting excited. Excitement sometimes is it's a good thing, but it can be a really bad thing when you react too quick to what you see.
So I really want to thank you for being on the show and telling us about your new book and helping us understand a little bit more about wholesaling.
You know, thank you very much for the opportunity, and happy wholesaling.
Thanks for joining us this week. And join us next week when we'll explore the ins and outs of growing your multicultural business with Michael Soon Lee, author of Cross-Cultural Selling for Dummies.